All right, so we live. So yeah, this is just a recorded session with my brother Don. We just going over some charts, some strategies, some markups, just having a little study time. You know what I'm saying? This is pretty much what I do with my teammates, the ones who really want to learn this trading stuff. At the end of the day, trading is a opportunity for you to make money for the rest of your life. So I'm all for teaching my brothers and my sisters and helping. I'm still learning myself. This is a teaching tool for me. So I know all of this stuff might look crazy, you might not understand it, but if you're watching this on YouTube, just pay attention to how we communicating and dialoguing and building. This is how I build with my people. So what was your question again?
My question,
How to
I
get
believe,
out of the market?
yeah. So, you know, there's certain entry points when you're doing market execution. Like, okay, this is where you want to get in, or you can do a buy stop or a sell stop or a buy limit and sell limit. We learn how to get in the market, but what would be the best strategy for us to know when to take profit? You know?
So, like I told you before, it's depending on your trading style and depending on the strategy that you're using. So, for this strategy, most people would just get to TP1. So, let's go ahead and calculate how many pips this is from entry to TP1.
Okay.
So, this is a damn. It's a 85. This is a 85 pip move.
That's a good little chunk.
That's a great chunk. So, a lot of times people just go to TP1. So you can go to TP1, or if you're feeling like, based on your analysis, if the move is strong enough to do more, you can grab more, but it's all on your preference. Another strategy is to get to TP1 and get your money and then reassess the market and see if it's strong enough to get from TP1 to TP2 or TP3. So me
Mm.
personally, when I'm on a scanner, I just get the TP1, like just based on my style and the time that I have to be in the market. Now, if this was a different situation, um, I would try to get all the way up to TP3 and do a trailing stop. But with my schedule and everything. So side
What's the
note,
trailing stop again?
trailing stop is, for example, if this line was my stop loss, right? Stop loss is down here, right, where this red line is.
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna treat this little line that I'm moving like the stop loss. So originally that's the stop loss. So say we got in the trade right away when it first started. Cool. Now it's going in our direction. So now we can put the stop loss in profit. So if the market decides to completely flip on us, we either break even or make a little bit of money. But let's just say this decides to go up for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Every time a new bar, you see how it's still going up, I could just shift my stop loss up, and essentially what I'm doing is just bringing in more profits. I'm securing more profits every time I trail my stop. So if this
Would
decides
you
to,
say would you say this technique of a trailing stop loss is safer on a larger time frame of trading versus a short one?
absolutely, because if you dealing with a 10, 20 pip move, it might just shift on you and then you get
Okay.
stopped out. So it depends on what pairs you are going with, and it also depends on how many pips you're up already. So you want to make sure you got a good chunk of pips. I think right now is a good time to do that because look, we're in this market and we've been watching it, and you see how slow and consistent it's moving, but you see it's going up still. So this is a good
Yes.
time. It's a good time to like slip in a little stop loss, move. You know what I mean? Because if you look at it, we ain't seen a red candle in 3 candles, and it's a 15-minute time frame. So this is
Okay.
45. This is 45 minutes of it going up. So that tells me, and it's not erratic. It's not up and down. It's not a volatile market. So I would slide my stop loss up a little bit, little bit, and secure
So
profits.
so for the people watching right now this video, one of the things we could definitely reiterate is that if you are to use the trailing stop loss technique, don't do it on something that's volatile, and don't do it on a currency or a pair, anything that's super duper volatile, moves fast. and do it on a longer time frame after you go through your checklist. I just wanted to clarify that because
And
certain,
also, I'm not gonna even use this video to really like teach because people ain't going. If you're not already trading, you're not gonna really get this. Just for the YouTube community, I just want to see how. I just want to showcase to you guys how I train with people. Like he's in the kitchen washing dishes. I'm in my barracks room in the military, and we just brainstorming on how to be great traders. So that's the biggest thing I want people to get because I can't be too detailed on it because this stuff can get complicated, you know. But if you know trading, you're gonna know what a trailing stop is, and if you don't know what a trailing stop is, you need to join a team to get with the community to get the training and learn what the stuff is, so you can be on the same page with us.
okay. So, um, you said you said that there were. I want to run through one more thing. I think we were in the middle of not figuring out. You were telling me you were just reiterating the steps that you go through when you use a certain trading strategy. But I was asking a few questions in between.
Hold on, quick side note. I took that trade and I'm in the blue. I'm up 10 pips. So I did a super low lot size, but I just went ahead and took it. But I just want to show the world when you see blue, you know what I'm saying? That means you
You
in the
said
money.
what size was your lot?
Just a 10-cent lot size.
You were up 10 pips and you did a 10-cent lot size?
Yeah, so I'm up $1 right now.
Okay. Hey, look.
But I mean that dollar was made literally as we're talking on the phone, and I'm trading while I'm trading with you, and also uh, I put my TP at 40, so it's gonna be a $4 win, you know. But I'm still practicing the strategy, so I'm always gonna make a super low lot size while I'm
You,
training, you know.
you put your take profit at only 40 pips?
Yeah. So from what I saw, it was a 50 pip move, and I just took 40.
Mm.
So that's what I'm doing now. If I see 100 pip move, I'm taking 80 or 90, just to guarantee myself the pips.
Yeah, because
Versus trying to take that 100 and it reversing on me, and then I'm like, oh shit, what do I do now?
yeah, because I hear about just cutting your losses and just breaking even. But why break even when you can still make something, you know? So I'm glad you actually mentioned that. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go through the others. So this is the sensei strategy. This is my personal favorite so far. Let's see what's next. Next, we're gonna do the max sauce. The max sauce is something that I learned from one of the educators in the IML Academy. His name is Lando, I think. Lando Bands or Delano, something like that. If
Uh-huh.
one of his people come across here, don't get mad. I'm terrible with names. That's something Bands. Lando, I believe it's Lando Bands. But let's go over the max sauce real quick. And also, you can save all these strategies, like literally. Why is it not here? Oh, I know where it's at. Yeah, you can save all these strategies.
That you can save them as well?
Yeah, so you see right here where it says Sensei.
Let me see. Yeah, I do.
I go to this drop down menu and go to load chart layout, and then I can go to max sauce.
Ah, that's dope. That's real dope.
All right, so max sauce. Max sauce is used with Gold Cup. Gold Cup is something that I pay extra for to have access to. And with Gold Cup, it basically it shows all of the major crossovers in the market. So instead of me looking for crossovers, it's just it already got it set up to where when it's a crossover, it shows me alert. So off top, these are going to be going in the direction that it said is going with because the crossover already happened. So the probability of these trades is going to be high. So I'm going to go ahead and pick one of these.
Okay.
All right, so for the max sauce is very similar, but just a little bit different. So with the max sauce, it uses a crossover within a crossover. So I'm trying to find a good example of one where you can actually see it.
You said the max sauce is a crossover within a cross.
Yeah.
That's new. I haven't heard that yet.
All right. So the major crossover is on the 4, which is this red line, on the 50 moving average. So when the 4 crosses the 50, it's usually going to go do what it's supposed to do. Now, it's other little mini uh, moving averages within that. So a cross within the cross might happen to where I can get like a more precise angle and direction. You know what I'm saying? So I believe it's like the 4 and the 10.
Uh-huh.
See, so I got the 50, which is the slowest one, the 4, yeah, and the 4 and the 10. So when the 4 and the 10 cross, that's usually another indicator. So it's basically like a cross on cross.
Okay.
So that's the first indicator. The next one is the same. It's pretty much the same as the other one with the RSI, relative strength index. If it's above 50, then you know it's a strong trend. The MACD, again, like right here, it's above the 50 line or above the 0 line, so that's a buy sign. And then
Uh-huh.
the same thing with the DMI. When the blue is on top, the buyers are in control. When the red is at the top, the sellers are in control. So this right here is actually a good setup. So I'm gonna show you how they show me. This is actually a trade that I probably would get in. So what they
Okay.
do is they get this vertical line and they mark off all of the spots that they want to pay attention to. So the first spot is this plus sign where I have a major crossover. So that's one spot I want to indicate. The next spot is wherever the MACD crossover on the 50. So right here. So crossed over on the 50 right here. The next spot is where the MACDs crossed over on the 50 line or 0 line, whatever that is. And that is right here. And then the last one is when the buyers got control because we want the blue to be on top. So I'm gonna pick the point where the buyers took over, and they took over right here. So as you can see, all of these, all of these are in different places, right? So
Uh-huh.
what the strategy is to get whichever indicator is farthest to the right and scoot all of your lines over to that area. So this one is the farthest to the right. This is like the latest signal that we got, right? So
Uh-huh.
we go ahead and just scoot everything over to line up with that line. So I'm just gonna grab these and scoot them right over.
Is it that for that strategy you're not paying attention to what happened before that point?
Well, that's exactly what we just did. We found a signal on each and every single one. And we found out where in the market we got that signal. But then we moved to the latest point or the latest signal and see if they all still align. And if they all still align, it's buying season.
So when you say they're all still in line, what do you mean by that?
Because right now, if you look here, the buyers are in control, right? But
Yeah.
if I scoot down over here, the sellers might be in control later on.
Uh-huh.
So this is why we scooted over just to make sure the trend is still going in our direction.
Okay.
So as I shift them down, everything is aligned. So now I'm gonna go top to bottom. So I look over here and my my EMA crosses are still doing what they're supposed to do. They're still in the uptrend. They're still moving in the direction that I wanted to move in.
Mm-hmm.
Also, let me side note, I need to turn on my Hakanashi candles. My apologies. The Hakanashi candle shows the momentum. All right, so it's still going in the direction I wanted to. It's respecting its 50 line. It's not crossing under it. It's literally being used as like a line of resistance or actually a line of support. When I go down here, my strength index is still above 50. My MACDs are still above the 0 line or the 50 line, whatever line you want to call that. and the buyers are still in control. So what I would do with all of this analysis that I have,
Uh-huh.
um, it's a little bit late in the trend. Okay, I'm gonna scoot it all the way over and see if I still want to get into this. I will probably still get into this trade.
You would still hop in? Would you hop in for a buy or?
I'm gonna hop in on a buy because as you can see, it's on an uptrend. I had the crossover that went up. The relative strength index is still going up, so this trend is still strong. Both of my MACDs are above the line, and on this blue line, my buyers are in control. And the strength of the control is pretty high now because it's black line. So I would actually take probably a 30 pip move on this.
It is a buy because I actually believe that the market's gonna push past and make that where it's sitting at right now, that's gonna become a new floor.
So even if you look here, you see this spot and this spot, this is the next ceiling. These
That's
spots
bro. That's it, bro. We thinking exactly alike right now. That's why I was saying I think that's gonna become a new floor because I was looking at the points previously where it had hit that had been a ceiling.
So
So
these two spots is the next TP area. So you can gauge it by your next take profit area, your next ceiling, or if you just want to grab 30 or 40 pips because that's your strategy, you can. So I just want to see how many pips this is in this little window to see if it's worth taking it.
okay.
And it's a 39 pip move. It's a 40 pip move basically. So I'll
Yep.
take it. I'll take it just to be safe. I'll take it for 35 pips. Now, with all of that information that we got gathered up, that's basically a guaranteed 35 pips.
Mm.
And I feel like we got in a little late. But my biggest key in really getting on this, the relative strength index is still going up. So it's telling me the strength of the trend is still going up, the MACDs are still going up, and this black line is very high. So it's showing a strong trend as well. So I'm getting all signals that it's a strong trend. I got a double bottom here, which is a reversal pattern. Um, my next ceiling is right here, and it looked like it's going in that direction. I got like 6, 7, 8 confirmations, bro. I'm like 98% sure this is gonna go where it needs to go. I don't see nothing on this chart that's gonna tell me that it's gonna go down. Like nothing. This is damn near a 100% trade. I don't see nothing on here that's saying otherwise.
Bro, I know it's 100%. I really do believe it is, based off of all the stuff we went through on the checklist.
So that's the max sauce, and the max sauce is very similar to the sensei strategy. I think the instructor basically just took the sensei strategy and modified it. But honestly, I feel like it's like an advanced sensei, to be honest with you.
You said you think it's an advance?
Advanced version of the sensei, yeah. All right, so the last one is the triple fire strategy.
Okay.
So with the triple fire, there's 3 major indicators, and this is other indicators that I paid for that I want to show you. So you use it on a harmonic scanner as well.
Okay.
And the first step, now the first step is kind of challenging because you have to find divergence.
Now, when you say divergence, what do you mean by that?
Divergence is like when the MACD tell you one thing and then the actual harmonics pattern tells you another thing. So I'm trying to find a good example. This is actually why I don't like this strategy because the finding the divergence part is a little bit, it's not challenging, but it's interesting. All right, so look, this is how they taught me. So you see this bottom right here?
Yeah.
And then you got this bottom right here, right? So sometimes the angle is going up, sometimes it's going down, and sometimes it's like a flat line, right? So what you use to measure it is this trend angle tool. So I'm gonna click this trend angle, and I'm gonna click it from this bottom to this bottom. And I don't know if you can see, but you see how it gives me like a degrees on here?
Yeah.
So from this bottom to this bottom is literally 0 degrees. So it's basically straight across. So what I want to do is I want to compare this bottom to this bottom to the signals that I'm getting on the MACD.
Uh-huh.
So on the MACD, I go and try to find this bottom, which is right here, this little baby little whoop, whoop, to the bottom D level. And it's -4%. So what divergence is when the chart gives you a certain angle or a certain percentage as far as the angle of the lows, the lowest lows or the highest highs, you can measure it out and get the degrees. And if there's a difference between that and the degrees on the MACD, it's called divergence. And divergence is the first signal that you want to find. So this actually isn't a great example because this divergence isn't like super intense, but on some pairs and some signals is significant. It'll show the harmonic pattern going up and it'll show the MACD going down. And that's usually a telltale sign that the market is going to go down. So that's the first step. The next step is the RSI, and it's the same as the other one. If the RSI is above 50, then it's a positive move to the upside.
Okay.
And then the last one they got is called the stochastic. I don't know exactly what the stochastic does, but I just know when it's above the 50 line, it's a sign to buy. And I made like a little custom stochastic. So you see how it's blue at the bottom?
Yeah.
So I made it blue at the bottom because I feel like this was like water. So I feel like when the stochastic is out the water, it's buying season. Cause it just looked cool. Like it looked like it's like underwater right now. Don't look like some little wave, like something just bouncing up out of the water.
Yeah, yeah.
This is the type of shit I'll be doing. But yeah. So
That's all good.
now the only reason why I don't like this strategy, well, the dude is Manny Q, and he's one of the top educators in IML, and he said this was the most profitable strategy. Oh, I forgot one last thing. So this was an indicator that I paid for, and you see where it's blue.
Yeah.
When it's blue, it's highlighting like a buy area. Like it's basically the indicator is saying like this is a strong buy. So when all of this shit lines up and you go over to your trading view and trading view is telling you it's a buy signal as well, that's the final signal. And when you get all of
Okay.
those signals lined up, it's buying season.
Okay.
So I went ahead and just paid for this, and it's an interesting indicator. You know, I'm still mastering it, but
And what's that indicator called one more time?
it's called the Blue Sky Plus.
Blue Sky Plus. And you use that with the triple fire strategy?
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's like the final step in it's the final step in the triple fire. So when you look at the indicators and they all line up, the final step is to wait till you see blue. And when you see blue, that's a buy, and you damn near guaranteeing yourself money.
Okay, bet.
The only reason why I don't like that is because I don't be having time to wait for that blue to pop up because I'll be kind of like in a rush, you know.
Yeah.
But those are the three strategies that I've been studying for like the last week and a half, and so far I'm liking the max sauce and the max sauce and the what is that shit called?
Those strategies are honestly dope. I'm gonna check them out and do some research on myself. But
The max sauce and the sensei. But I'm in between both, and sometimes I check both, you know, and I
do you
always
use that crossfire that often, or is that something you're still learning? Like you don't, well, I mean, you're still learning all of them, but like, is that one that you use frequently?
the which one?
The triple fire strategy.
Um, I'm actually not using the triple flyer so much because measuring out that divergence is kind of like throwing off my flow. And I
Is
want
that
to,
is that time consuming to measure out that diversion?
it's not time consuming at all. It's just not as easy as the other shit.
Okay, I got you.
It's
We're
just,
about efficiency, so I understand.
it's just like an extra step that I don't have time for. And I feel like the other strategies are as effective. I'm still learning about divergence too. So maybe if I figure out or read or listen to somebody say the value of divergence is super extreme, and if I learn that divergence is really like where it's at to kind of predict the trade, then I'll go back to using divergence. But I'm just now learning about divergence.
Okay. I feel you. Like I believe in time and efficiency. So if you find a strategy where you can get money in less amount of time, why not go for it? So I I feel you on that one, bro.
And I'm just learning a little bit about everything every day and to be more of a well-rounded trader. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the recording portion of this. So this is just me and my boy chopping it up. He wanted to see what strategies I was working on. I'm just experimenting with different strategies. What my issue is, I'll be doing a little bit of everything with trading. So I'm looking to get more consistent. So I'm trying to find the strategy that works for me and my schedule. And when I find a strategy that works for me and my schedule, I'm gonna consistently use that strategy to continue to get consistent wins. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm about consistency. I'm actually going to use this video as my truth about Forex because I have a series called The Truth About Forex. So if you guys are watching this, go to my YouTube and check out The Truth About Forex. I've been documenting my journey since day one. So actually, this was very spontaneous, but this is now going to be The Truth About Forex, probably volume 9. So if you guys are watching this, like, subscribe, show me some love, drop a comment, give me some feedback. And this is just a real life, in depth view of how us traders work. He has a full-time job, I have a full-time job, and this is just showing you guys how we work and how we build. So on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and end this. We're gonna continue the dialogue and dig a little deeper into these charts and find out how to get $100,000 next year. So on that note, I'll check with y'all later, and everybody have a good night.
Peace.